Well, welcome to the 2024 Great American Insurance Group Summer Spectacular. It's going to be a great one, and I have a great co-host. I'm Courtney DeHoff, alongside the legendary Corey Pounds. It's been a long morning for you already. We're going to preview the 5-6 Open Finals, but you got up at 3 a.m., and I want to talk a little bit about what it's like behind the scenes, because for someone like me, it's really fun to come watch these great horses in these Open Finals, but it has been a long road to get here, Corey.
Well, you know, anybody that does this for a living, a professional, you know, it's all about preparation and preparation from basically from the time they were 2. And I was fortunate enough to get to show yesterday in the semifinals, and I didn't advance, and which that was fine. I could have not made the semis and not won any money. But anyway, whenever I got home last night, the goal automatically switches to Youth Week. I've got 2 kids showing, and then the futurity horses, and so yes, it's a lifestyle that we live. We love it. Wouldn't trade it for anything. It allows us to raise our kids in this environment, a great environment. The NCHA they take such good care of our youth. These major events are huge, and to make the finals in one is a big deal. And we should see a really, really good cut today.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And as you mentioned, this show really is just getting started. We've got the non-pros, the youth. We have a ton of great horses still left. So if you're local to Fort Worth, come out and watch, or tune in and watch us right here. Corey, you're pretty good on TV. If you're new to cutting, you may still recognize this man. He didn't know I was going to do this, but from the hit show Yellowstone. I didn't know you were an actor as well. Yellowstone, how was that?
I would say actor very loosely. Anytime somebody wants to make reference to that, I just tell them that I can read a script, and the guy that writes it is the most brilliant man with a computer that writes shows ever, and he can make even me look good.
I love it. Well, you made the sport of cutting look good too as well. It's always fun to see some of our great cutters featured there. Let's talk about scripts. You said you can read one, so let's get into this. Let's talk about the 5-6 Open. We are going to preview this first set here. First out is going to be the gelding Countin, of course, Kenny Platt. We saw this pair in the 2022 Open Futurity as finalists. What do you think about this?
Well, Kenny Platt, me and Kenny Platt, we share the KP, so we say we have to always take care of the KPs, but Kenny has been really good this week. His horses have been firing, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds. This little old horse, and giving Kenny that draw right there, he is going to come swinging. Going to have his pick of the herd. The cows be good today. They were good yesterday in the semis. It seemed like they got better as the day went, and hopefully that transforms into today. And like I say, Kenny and that little horse, the numbers speak for themselves. He's won a plenty, and like I say, Kenny knows how to win in this pen.
Yeah, a 441 was their composite score coming in, which is huge. And Kenny always comes a firing, which is fun to watch. Let's go to horse number 2, Rare Rubies, Lance Cooper, one of our younger maybe generations coming up. But man, this kid knows cutting.
No, he's good, you know, and Michael done a great job bringing him to this point. And you know, Lance has been showing, like I say, since that youth week when he was a kid. The big stage doesn't bother him. Michael's done a good job keeping horses underneath Michael and Lance. That is hard to do, and I'm tickled to see him in there.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Michael Cooper, of course, his Hall of Fame trainer dad. So Lance coming up the ranks as well. Number 3, Motown Cat, Craig Thompson.
Yeah, 2-time. We call Craig 2-time. You know, he's won futurity twice. He's loved this horse since he was a 3-year-old, and it seems like he could have some big runs on him, and then there would be something that would kind of, whether it be the draw or some little something, would keep him out of this round. But boy, I was glad to see yesterday he got his horse showed perfect and got a good draw today, and I hope to see him get showed.
Going to be a great one. Number 4, it's not uncommon to see a galleon in these Open Finals. We're going to go to Bo Galleon, Rebels Cause MLP. He's won $5.4 million in his lifetime. There's so many great trainers in this lineup, though. They're all going to be great to watch.
When you say Galleon, or you say Rice, or you say Banuelos, you say Gaines, you say Shepherd, you're looking at generations of, you know, their second, third generation showing cutting horses. And, you know, Bo on that horse, he's already won in this building before. And like I say, cows are good. He's going to come swing.
Yeah, let's go to number 5. We talked about Lance Cooper. Let's now talk about Dad. I think that this is cool because, Corey, you're going to see Michael in the pen, most likely, helping Lance and vice versa. Talk about the father-son. We've seen father-daughter, mother-daughter. Talk about that family dynamic.
Yeah, old Michael, he's going to be out there turning back and for his son, and then when they call his name, he's going to try to win first. Michael, he was a champion here last year on a different horse. But whenever they call old Michael's name now, he goes and tries to win first.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. He's riding a gelding called Captain Fantastic by Stevie Ray Vaughan, so a great one there. Let's get down now as we move into sort of the middle of this set. Red Rebel Nation. We're looking at Justin White. Talk to me first, before you talk about Justin, let's talk about the draw a little bit. How does that come into play? Say you're, Kenny Platt riding into the herd first. As we get down further, what's the mindset and how do you strategize?
Well, it just depends, I've been fortunate enough to show in this pen multiple times in finals, and I've seen cows come in and like start off stingy, and some guys have some trouble or some guys have some big runs. You'll see those cattle get better. Mm-hmm. And then as you start kind of getting through the picks of those cows, them boys on the bottom end of it, they're going to start taking some risks. They're going to cut a cow that may be a little bit more stingy. And like that horse that Justin's showing, when that horse was 2 times here, for the first 2 cows, he's winning the cutting. And he took a huge swing on the 3rd cut, and it cost him winning the cutting. But the horse is capable. And like I say, the draw is the draw. You can't do anything about it. But like I say, as you start getting down towards the end of it, those boys will start taking more risk.
Absolutely. And we saw that pair. They were in the Open Futurity as finalists, so that we know that they can do it. There's the consistency has been there for sure. Big physical horse Justin brings. And like I say, he's not going to peter-patter around. He's going to go try to win first. Absolutely. How about Red Sparrow, Cody Headland? I remember back in high school rodeo, seeing Cody Headland come into the National High School Finals rodeo and lay down runs. Obviously, he's been involved in the cutting for a long time. Talk to me about him.
Man, I tell you, he's one of the younger guys, come up as a youth and then as a non-pro. Huge success in everything, but boy, to watch what he's doing here, he is doing a great job. Good young trainer, really good young boy. Just kind of at the start, this horse that Tatum Rice trained originally, and Cody's taken that program over, and I think this will be his 3rd or 4th show, and he's just doing outstanding. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch for sure. As we move down in the set, next man needs no introduction. We're talking Adon Banuelos, Metallic Dog. Adon has absolutely been so dominant in the sport for many years, and he comes from a cutting family. And Corey, I have stood up here with many great trainers like yourselves as my co-hosts, and they all say the same thing. Adon Banuelos is so talented on a horse. He's just got so much feel, and he's very, as fast as things get to go, and he's able to keep everything very slow in his head. And like I say, he's one of those 2nd generation boys, and you couple all that he has with a battery of horses that he's put together, and it's really remarkable. He's had a lot of success on Metallic Dog, and like I say, if they're going to call his name, you better just be ready, because he's going to get his share or all of it. Yeah, will be fun to watch for sure. That horse owned by the 1027 Ranch, and it's also fun to look at those owner-trainer partnerships. Todd Elizabeth Quirk, they've been with the Dawn for a long time, and it's fun, and I'm sure you have clients as well. This really becomes a family. Oh, shoot, my main customer, I trained the first horse for her in 1999, and she, to this day, she's still my mainstay, and they have had huge success. The 1027 and with the Dawn and the NCHA, he showed the little roan horse that they did so good on. But there's good chemistry there, and like I say, it's fun to watch. Yeah, when it's working, why change it, right? Let's go to the 9th horse, One Night in Fort Worth. Appropriate name, James Payne, owned by another owner. We see a lot of great horses, Kathleen Moore. What do you think about this matchup? Well, James is just going to go down. His horse will be the most trained animal here, and he's going to show you it. He's riding a Once in a Blue Moon, which he won this cutting on the sire of him, so he's tied in there. This has been a good horse for James and Kathleen. They both had a lot of success on it ever since the Futurity. And like I say, James, he just does what James does. He just he outworks everybody. You don't want to go sit by James Payne, you'll feel lazy.
Absolutely. Let's go now to our last pair. We're looking at Clint Allen. Talk to me a little bit about the mindset coming in that last hole. I know you talked a little bit about the cattle already. Sometimes, they get even better than they already were. Do you just lay it all out on the line and go for it?
Well, Clint's going to. Clint's my friend. I've helped him a lot, but I'm going to just say he's crazy. And if there's 3 cows in there that everybody's like, hey, I wouldn't probably do that. I see you taking a risk, but let's don't take that risk. Clint, whenever he quits his second cow, whatever one of those is, had better get ready, because he's going to come out with it with his hand down in a dead run, and he's won multiple events doing it. So I'm rooting for him. I'm a fan.
D-Mac Hail Mary is the horse. We're saving the crazy for last in this first set of the 5-6 Open. It's going to be great. They've got the cattle in the pen. We're about ready. You ready to watch?
I'm ready. I'm ready to watch. Let's go.
Let's do it. We'll be right back after this.
Well, folks, our judges are set and ready to work. We will kick it off at draw number 1, Counting and Kenny Platt. Lance Cooper, you're going to follow. Motown Cat, Craig Thompson, be getting ready for us. It's the 5-6 Open Finals, set number 1.
Hello. Oh, yep.
We're on.
You ready to do this?
Ready.
Well, welcome to the 2024 Great American Insurance Group Summer Spectacular. It's going to be a great one. We're about to watch the 5-6 Open Final. I'm Courtney DeHoff alongside Corey Pounds. This is going to be a good 2 sets to watch. We have the biggest names in the business riding in the pen.
No, it's the cutting's going to, the cows are going to dictate what kind of cutting we have. We have an outstanding set of horses, an outstanding set of riders. Kenny Platt, he's coming to the herd on Counting. Him and his boys are talking. They're pointing him back here to the back, so he's got his mind on something.
This is a great pair. We saw them in the 2022 Open Futurity as finalists. This is a really nice gelding owned by Bob Tregemba.
Kenny and Bob, they've had a chemistry for years. Bob's had open horses with Kenny. They've had a lot of success. Good group. Looks like he's on the gray cow. No, he's on the dun cow. He needs to keep going. He tangled his cut. No fault of his, though. Horse kind of took the cow going back. Kenny's in perfect total control right here. Like I said, this horse has got a long reach, big stop. Good cow. Kenny's doing all he could. First chance he got to get off.
Not a bad way to get this Open Finals started. You notice that Kenny is not alone. I see Lloyd Cox back there. I don't know if you know this, but Kenny has a goat named Lloyd.
Oh, yeah. I stalled by him at Amarillo last year, and I think my kids roped that goat every time Kenny left the stalls.
Yeah.
He's found a black cow that he likes on the back. Good, clean cut. Better this time. This is a little bit more cow. A little stingier cow. A little bit of a miss right there. That's going to The judges are going to take off a little right there. He's back in control, has another miss. Yeah, just too much. Cow was too much. And yeah, just no fault to Kenny's. Look, that's what I said today in the pre-show. You know, guys are going to take chances, and the guys that take the chance that don't have that other cow leaving out wasn't Kenny's fault. The draw, first in the set, that cow was just too much. It probably was. It was one of those borderline cows. You didn't all the way trust it, and it just got out of time, and it didn't work.
Lance Cooper.
His horse looked good.
Greg Thompson, you'll follow. Rebels Cause and Bo Gallion.
Talk to me a little bit about what the judges are looking for here in this open final.
Well, the criteria, you know, the judges are bound by the criteria, and the first thing you see on the judges list is herd work. That's the cut. Make the good cut. Whoever makes the good cut cuts a good cow, has the most precise run, degree of difficulty, eye appeal, all the boxes on the run content side. Like I say, the judges, they're bound by the judges sheet, and Andy's got the new judges sheet, and it's real simple to follow. Whoever has the best cuts, the most eye appeal, the highest degree of difficulty, the most time worked, and shows the most courage, that's who's going to win.
You and I are positioned straight across from those judges.
And it's tricky, Courtney. It's tricky to judge from the back. And I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to try to judge. I'm just going to give you my opinion of what's going on.
There's 5 of them. Talk to me a little bit. It's high-low, correct drop.
They kick out the high score and they kick out the low score. And any major penalty that's called, there'll be an R put on it, and they'll review it. In the finals, they review any major. And Andy and Joe Cameron do that, and they do a great job.
We're getting set for our next pair, riding in Lance Cooper. We talked about him in the pre-show, riding Rare Rubies, a mare by Metallic Cat.
Yeah, Metallic Cat. This mare was trained originally by Russ Elrod. He did a great job for Mr. Cupper. And Lance got through the go-arounds in the semifinals good. Makes a good clean cut right here on the yellow cow. Just let everything come back to you. As he's doing. Kind of run that together a little bit right there. You'd like to see him wait just a little bit in that stop. That's what the judges are thinking. There he landed. Got close to the herd, kind of forced off. But he started a good run. Made a good cut, good cow. His horse is right in there. Just he needs to build off of that.
His dad, Michael Cooper, of course, up top in the pen, watching on.
Good, another cut on the little red baldy right here. Looks like a real good cow. Lance nails her right in the middle of the pen like you're supposed to. She's strong enough, but good. This is a good cow. It's a little strong, getting close to him. He needs to get out here. Austin's trying to let him off. There, good. Cow got stopped. They got to be stopped or turned away. He fought his way back in the cutting right there a little bit. He's got a lot of time. He wants to get cut with about 12 to 15. No more. As strong as these cows are, you don't want to get cut with too much. Got him a black baldy on the outside. Good cow. Got it trapped right there in the middle of the pen. Lance is doing a good job. His horse is dialed in. Good way to finish your run right here. Good cow. Real good cow. Good job, Lance Cooper.
Yeah, the crowd has certainly liked it. Of course, that mare, a graduate of that Great Western Bloodstock sale.
Oh, yeah, Jeremy and them, they do a good job. They bring the best horse flesh, not just for us, but we have the rank cow horse. We have everybody. Lance just set the bar pretty good right there.
And Craig Thompson,
2:23
Bo Gallion, you'll
for
follow.
Lance Cooper.
MLP, Captain Fantastic.
Second horse in the set.
And Michael Cooper.
Not a bad way to get
Begin
this
ready, please.
thing started. We'll be looking for our third horse in the set shortly. Motown Cat by Highbrow Cat, Craig Thompson.
Yeah, this is 02-time champ. We're glad to have him back in Parker County. He moved back and he's working out of the Teton Ridge stable now, and like I say, we're glad to have him back.
Started his career in cutting horses back in 1996 as an apprentice, and he worked with some of the greats.
He worked for Matt Gaines, I remember it, and then he went and worked for Shannon Hall. And he's just, for one, he's a champion of a person, but also a student. He loves cutting, he loves the history of cutting, knows how to win. Two-time Futurity champion, that's a lot of, not many have that title.
Yeah, in the history books for sure. 3.2 million in lifetime earnings. Riding in the pin now on Motown Cat.
Looks like he wants this black whitetail if it'll walk. He's gonna make a real pretty cut right here if he'll just finish it. Perfect. Now we need this cow to get a hold, just like this, and Craig's gonna just get a hold of her right here. Cow's a little bit close. He'd like to let it jerk him out of his tracks and let his horse go run stop. It's making his horse kind of just block the herd instead of having a right and left move there. He did all he could do right there on that cow. That cow was, if it would have ever jerked him one time, he'd have got some rhythm. But the cow just didn't help him.
And these guys ride in the pin with a pretty good idea of what's fresh, what's not, what they're looking for. We can see all of the trainers in the cow box in front of us.
He wants this black mont. It's the same deal as Kenny. This cow looks to be a little bit higher risk. He gets a hold of it perfect right there. When that cow turns away from him, then the horse is just kind of guessing. It has to really wait. And it's tricky when that cow's left him on this right side 3 times in a row. And it just takes the rhythm away. But Craig did a good job. His horse worked it good. He got a lot of time right here.
Corey, let me ask you this. You talk about the second cow being a little bit higher risk. We saw that first cow maybe didn't give him quite enough. Do you have to sort of start taking those risks depending on how the run's going to get the points?
Well, like when you quit a cow, like, hey, you know what, I need to do a little more. Or, hey, I was good there, I just need to build on that. And we know, but we get so locked in on cutting a cow that sometimes, he wanted that black baldy. I'm glad he didn't do it. She told him no. He may end up getting her yet. Nope, he switched to the red. That was smart. 10 seconds left, right in the middle of the pen. He needs this cow to jerk him around. He's doing all he can. It's just close. There it goes. Craig did a great job. He made good cuts. He had to switch off there, which it wasn't a penalty. He was just trying to cut at the cow, and it made it when he cut that one. He had to kind of bring his horse back.
Down the line. We'll look to
he did a good job. They're going to stick him right there in the middle of the 216.
As we wait on the next rider to walk in the pin, you talked about that black-white face, and you immediately said, oh, nope, she told him no. What did you see?
Well, he was walking up through there, and all the cows were walking right to the judges' stands, and as soon as that cow kind of felt him, she just broke away and took a hold of him. So he wasn't going to be able to drive her anywhere. She would have just whirled and went with the herd. So he just let her go, kept walking up there, and found him a fresh one on top. But if that cow just keeps walking, he makes a credit earning cut right up the middle of the pen. But it didn't. And like I say, Phil Rapp's the best there's ever been at switching on a cut and making it work. Craig made that work.
A 216 for Craig Thompson riding Motown Cat. We're looking for the fourth horse in the set, Rebel's Cause by Metallic Rebel. We're going to Bo Gallion, a $5.4 million rider. We've seen this horse 2022 summer, a spectacular 4-year-old open. This horse was in the top 5. So both of these, horse and rider, know how to perform.
Yeah, Bo 1 cut 0 on his daddy. He's 1 cut 0 on this horse. This is a big old good gelding. You go rope steers on. He's a big horse, good horse, and Bo wants to go find the best cow he can and make a good cut up there and just get started right. I don't know what he's on. He's not on the red. He is on the red. Nope, he's on the gray. Far up as you can. That was perfect how he stepped that cow away from him. Gave him a little separation. He's got separation, and this cow's good. Kind of stalled out a little bit right there. That looks like the way the cutting's going to be. The cows are going to be just a little close. Bo's doing good right here. Cow broke away from him, and he felt like if he kept going, he was probably going to be a little out of rhythm, so he just quits and goes and gets him another one.
The horse has 200,000, a little over 200,000 in lifetime earnings.
Terry Green owned him originally, and they sold him to this Nate Allen, and he's been great ever since, from a futurity horse on. He's wanting this dirty white. Right there, see the cow turned, and he's close, but then the cow gets away and gives him that separation. This is good. Run, stop. Trap the cow. He's doing good right here. The cow turned into him on this side. It would help, just like that. Makes it better. Wes is going to come get him off. You couldn't have worked that one any better. Cow was good. Horse was good. He's going to get cut with a lot of time right here, looks like.
27 seconds on the clock.
He's on the yellow on top. Good cut. Cut right up there on top. Oh, he got stuck in the ground right there. That's a one-pointer per judge. He's trying to gather it back up. Bo's doing all he can do to gather this cow back up, but just this cow's strong. That was good right there. I left him. Tricky move right there.
Thank you, Bo.
Really good run. Just they're going to get him a half a miss right there. Good job, Bo.
Bo Gallion, of course, comes from the great Gallion family. We'll see Wes later in these open finals. Dad, I mean, it really is a family affair.
Yeah, Jody's sitting over there in the stands, the biggest fan watching his boys. And well, I tell you, they've had both of them have had a lot of success early in their career. They've got a lot of years left.
A 2:13 for Bo Gallion aboard Rebel's Cause.
Yeah, the first cow just, it was good, but it was close, and it never was like a rhythm. The second cow got the rhythm, and the run opened up, but then the third cow was just too much, and that missed. And like I say, those boys that sitting in the boxes, they're wanting to mark them. They're wanting to mark them all they can, but they have to call those misses.
Getting set now for the fifth horse, MLP Captain Fantastic by Stevie Ray Vaughn, ridden by Michael Cooper, owned and bred by Elizabeth Para.
Yeah, this is one that Grant originally trained, and then last year Michael took her over, or maybe last fall. Grant had some success on her.
This is MLP Captain Fantastic and Michael Cooper.
2023 Super Stakes 5-6 Open champion, this horse.
That Jesse's trying to get him on something right here. Michael's one of those guys, though. I tell you what, he's a little like Clint Allen. He'll cut something that you're just a little bit suspect of being too much. He's not scared to take a chance.
Michael Cooper has an inspiring story, a cool background. In fact, NCHA Films has a new document.
He's going to be a lot, maybe. He's a little bit short going to, so every time he turns quick and his box on that judge's seat, that's called working out of position. And so that cow was fast and a lot, but with not much rhythm. So Michael was just trying to kind of stay near it and stay in the frame. But it's not a cow where you're going to get a lot of credit. Yeah, you checked a few boxes off, but there were also enough that, so the judges, there's just not much they can do with that cow. Got him a fresh black baldy up here. Finish your cut. Needs to get cleaned up. This is a good cow, staying in the pattern good. Michael's covering it both ways. He's getting himself back in the cutting right here. This cow's getting tough. This isn't good. Went to the wall. RL couldn't get around it. He was trying. Cow just wouldn't give him any room. Gets off there with, he's short of time right here. He's just going to be at the mercy of whatever walks. Oh, no. Nothing walked. There we go. Finally a volunteer, but that looked funny. Anytime it looks funny, that's the first thing the judge says. Oh, that looked funny. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Michael Cooper in MLP.
Like I say, it doesn't work every time, but he had 3 good runs to get here. He's got a good horse, and he showed good right there. It just didn't work.
Michael Cooper riding MLP. Captain Fantastic, going to be a 2-6.
And Justin White.
That was, like I say, the first cow. There just wasn't anything that the judges could do to start him on a big number to where he could build off of. So as soon as he quit his first cow, he's kind of in a hole. Come back, made it up good on the second cow, and then just didn't get cut good there at the end.
As we get ready to watch our 6th horse ride in the pen, Corey, we're sort of right, at that halfway point now. If you're sitting in the cow box and you're watching the cows and you're sort of in this maybe second half of this first section, what is the mindset? What are you going to be looking for?
Well, so good question, Courtney. So really, Kenny, when Kenny took that chance first horse, that basically told everybody in the cow box, like, look, if they tell you they're fast, you better listen to them. They're going to be quick. So a cow that you thought would get better towards the end of the settling, unless you've seen it go up there and act perfect on a cut, you're not even going to bring it up. You're going to cut. You're going to go cut something that you think that you can hold without risk.
Washington, Texas.
Because, like I say, the boys that have taken the risk, it hasn't paid off.
Justin White riding into the herd momentarily. Red Rebel Nation by Metallic Rebel.
Yeah, just a lot like that horse that Bo showed a while ago. Just a big old good Metallic Rebel. Big, tall horse. Lots of strength, lots of reach. A magnificent athlete this horse is. I'd like to see him get him showed good here. He's had some big runs in this building with one little alley on a cow that kept him from doing really good. The horse is capable, and so is Justin. We just got to get everybody tied in. Looks like he's trying this gray horn cow. He got her. Dirty yellow or gray, and same thing, she's too fast. Not much rhythm right here. Just kind of, she's no good. She was just too much.
At this point, if you're Justin, what's the next
move? You're trying to get the biggest check you can get. No, let's get no major penalties. Mm-hmm. Let's get no major penalties. Let's just he's shaking his head, bless his heart. That's a rerun black whitetail.
Because Corey, you've been in this pen time and time again, and you guys know.
I mean, you know by the first jump. No, we know when we quit.
Yeah.
And it's equally as hard. It's equally as hard if you're doing good to slow yourself down, and it's equally as hard if you're not doing good to slow yourself down and just say, hey, look, you know what? Justin's back in here, made a good cut right here. This is the horse that we wanted to see. He's the horse that made it. That first cow was just too much. Good red cow. He's back in here good. He needs to get off. It's about played out. Old cow just keeps getting closer. There you go. He got off. He's going to get a chance to cut him one more. He just needs to get cut. Get cut here. That rerun black whitetail's fine. He's going to go with the lead cow. He's going to tangle his cut. RL's trying to help him right here. Cooper cleaned him up. Good black cow to finish on.
Thank you, Justin White.
He's wishing he could have cut 3 like that. Dang it. I do too. I love that horse. I love watching him work. That boy, he'll win something on him one day.
That moves us down the line.
You talk about a run like that, you're trying to win just as much as you can, because it is worth pointing out that there is a big payout.
Oh my gosh, you know, the difference in first and 10th is $22,000, you know, and then from 10th to 20th, it's $5,000 difference in placings, and every placing it goes up or goes down. So, like I say, you're cutting. Dang it, they just took him out of the cutting for that first cow.
Justin White going to be a 210 on Red Rebel Nation. As you saw sort of Justin, finish up, he said, oh, RL's doing this and Cooper's cleaning him up. Talk to me about how important the 4 people in the pen are with you. You know what,
everybody here's good help. We all help each other, and most of the time you use guys that you work with a lot, and you don't have to talk about it much. I heard a guy the other day after they showed, he said, hey, we don't need to talk about that, but next time that happens, go ahead and move that cow, because I'm riding a good horse. I know I made it and everything, but that's all that's said, but everybody helps everybody, and everybody cheers for everybody and wants everybody to do good. Like right here. Cullen's down there. He's getting him on a cow. Cody's in the other corner, so he's calling the one on top.
It's Cody Headland riding the mare they call Red Sparrow. Highest composite, Corey, coming into the semifinals.
Oh no, and he was on fire yesterday. Boy, this horse looked good. It was flying around. Cody's program right now looks as good as one could. This is out of the great mare, the old Oxbow Ranch, Lindy's mare, Adele. I helped Lindy. I think she was second at the Futurity or Super Stakes on that mare, won a tub. Cody's doing a good job right here. Just he couldn't get all the way to the left, and that's good, because if he did, that cow was so close, it would have probably, that horse was smart right there. Cody was smart, started his run good. He just needs to build off that.
This mare, a graduate of the Western Bloodstock Sale.
Maybe that's that Black Baldy that turned around on Champ a while ago on the inside. She's still not walking. He's going to get to Hereford, looks like. Another good cut. Way up off the front of that herd. Good cow. Needs it to come back to him here just a little bit. Just like that. That was perfect. Come right back to him. Oh, look at this horse. Just perfect timing with that cow right and left. Cody did a good job right there. Cow was getting strong and quick and leaving him, so he felt like he needed to quit.
Reiterate when you say come back to him.
Well,
what are you looking for?
Once you get up there, you just want that cow to come back to you and actually kind of pull your horse back too. If you get stuck to the cow and get stuck up there, a horse can't keep its timing. Real strong power cut here with a lot of time on this Dirty White. Good quick cow. Oh, that was perfect right there. That's the first time he's had a chance to ride his horse to the left, and it was perfect. There's another one. Ooh, that got tough right there. Cow just kind of got wild and gave up on him and left him, but boy, did he not do a good job right there. That one stop was brilliant, perfect. 2 turns before the whistle over there.
It was a fun one to watch, and the crowd here inside Will Rogers Coliseum certainly liked it as we await the score for Cody Headland.
Yeah, he did a good job right there, Cody did. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I'll tell you what, his program has looked good to me since he won an open cutting at Ardmore last year that I don't remember when it was, might have been late. late spring, early summer. But he won a big 60-horse 5-year-old cutting up there, and you could just see that. And he won it. They didn't give it to him. They don't do that in our business. And ever since you just saw his program just kind of keep taking the steps forward. And it even shows through his non-pros. The non-pros get on his horses, and they just look brilliant.
A 222.5 for Cody Headland.
We got him stacked in there pretty tight on the leaderboard.
We do, and it's not over. We're looking for a Don Banuelos now. Riding Metallic Dog, owned by the 1027 Ranch. You know, I was texting with Elizabeth earlier. She said they recently acquired the horse from Rock and P, and they're just really grateful to Bobby Patton for allowing them to show this great horse. And as always, she had nothing but good things to say about it.
Yeah, no, this horse, he's a full brother to the horse Tim Smith won the world on Metallic's MVP. And this horse has always shown signs of brilliance. And like I say, everybody felt good about it whenever Mr. Bobby sold the horse and the clerks bought it. Everybody felt good about it all going on and for the betterment of the horse. And like I say, Don, his program, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, we chatted with him on the phone. He said, this horse is Mr. Cool, super chill. He said he's a real gentleman about things. And Don said he just, he doesn't really argue about anything. He's sweet to be around. So it'll be fun to see what they can get done.
Boy, I tell you what, he's doing. He's bringing a lot of cows. He's going to get way up this pen, and I tell you what, that's okay. He's picked him a creamy one. Look how far he is up there. Now he just needs everything to come back to him right here. Cow turned away from him a little bit. He pulls it back. Oh, this cow needs to come and break him off coming here to the left. See, every time that cow goes to the left, it leaves him, and it just kind of leaves him hanging at a funny spot. No fault to Don or the horse, just that cow just needed to break over to here to flatten his horse off where he could get him. Here's a fresh gray whitetail. This is a risky, good credit earning cut. Same thing, he's way up off that herd. This cow's spreading him out better. Still won't jerk him around, just kind of looping away. From the front, this is going to look real good because this horse has a huge amount of eye peel. He's strong, he's precise. He's getting himself back in the cutting here good. All right, he made up a lot of ground right there. Because like I say, we're watching it from the back. I'm just watching where the horse is, even proximity to the cow. Mm-hmm. From the front, this horse has a ton of eye appeal.
This horse also out of the Western Bloodstock sale. You called that second cow risky. What did you mean?
Well, just the way he cut it. It was walking off, and he just wheeled and went with it. He didn't ever even get behind it. It kind of cut itself, and he just went up there and got with it. You're just kind of at the mercy of it, He's going to finish strong right here. Cow needs to help him a little bit. Sean did a good job getting around it. Cinch got him shut down perfect right there. Finish strong. And like I say, this horse has a lot of eye appeal.
Owned by the 1027 Ranch.
Don likes it. He's petting his horse. Look, with the draw he had, the herd of cows he had, I don't know how he could have done any more.
Two now out of set one here.
Yeah, he's going to be up there the top of the mix, 18.5.
And James Payne. Clint Allen, you'll follow. Final
a great future for that horse. Right, Elizabeth said they're certainly excited to see where that pair goes. Getting down now towards the bottom of this first set. What do you think so far?
It's been a good cutting. Courtney. But like I said at the start of it, the cows are what dictates the quality of the cutting. And it's July, which we have had mild weather in Texas for July. First time I can remember in a while. But like these cows are just staying a little bit close, and they just don't have a lot of snap to them, and it's just making it a little bit more difficult situation to get through. Lance made it look easy. Cody made it look easy, and they're winning first and second.
Now working for you at draw 9, One Night in Fort Worth.
One Night in Fort Worth, ridden by James Payne, owned by Kathleen Moore. A mare by Once in a Blue Moon, walking into the pin. Second to last horse in this first set.
James Payne.
Yeah, so you get down here, there's just a handful of fresh cows left. But them, John and that boy in the other corner, Casey, they'll know the cows, and they know the cows James wants to cut. Looks like he wants this Great Bremer up on top. That's a good cut. Get your hand down. That was a good cut. Oh, his horse slipped on his front end right there and got his feet tangled up, and that caused him to have a miss. Now he's out of whack off center. He got himself back in there perfect. I'm going to tell you what he just did right there, from having a little half miss to being off center and then being back in perfect sync. That is not easy to do with your hand down, but he did it because that's what James does.
This mare was the 2024 4-year-old Super Stakes champion, so we know she has what it takes, as does James.
He's coming to the back right here. He's coming to the back, whatever's back there that he wants. He's trotting up there. That's what you have to do, like on cows like this. He got that cow. That cow never turned around until right then. They probably thought this cow was going to be quick. He's just a touch off center right here. All the way across there. James is doing all he can do with this cow right here. Mare looks good. That one deal when that cow stopped, she went to turn and just her front end slipped out from under, and it's going to just leave a mark. Hopefully he can get finished strong and get back in a little bit. He's making another power cut right here. Same deal, beautiful cut. Right up there in the middle. Let this cow just find its way back to you. And he's got 13 right now. He's got a lot of time right here. The cow's just staying close, not much rhythm to it. Lloyd and Sean are just having to kind of keep it busy without mashing it on him.
Thank you, James Payne, in One Night in Fort Worth. On by Kathleen Moore.
Yeah, dang it. He's not. James knows he didn't have the run that he was capable of having, but Kathleen's going to get a check, and so is James.
How to take us to the final horse out of this
213 for James Payne, riding once a One Night in Fort Worth, another good horse out of that Western Bloodstock sale. We're looking now for our final horse in this first set. There are two sets of the 5-6 Open. It will be Clint Allen riding D-Mac Hail Mary, a mare by Metallic Rebel.
Yeah, Clint, I tell you what, I've seen him do this multiple times from the last hole, not just here in Fort Worth, from anywhere you go. Here, West Monroe, Augusta, Reno, Vegas. When they call his name, he's a winner, and he's not going to go pitter-patter around. He's going to go try to put down a run. I just hope he can find something to cut that's good. There's still plenty of fresh cattle in there, but how good are they?
By Metallic Rebel. On by David and Stacy McDavid.
A top 10 finish at the 2023 Open 4-year-old Summer Spectacular on this horse. So they've been in this position before.
Oh, Clint trained this little old mare. She's out of the good mare Scooter Daisy Dukes, who hadn't missed everything she's had is good. A lot of them have ended up over in the cow horse side, and they've really excelled well over there. Clint, he told me he had this for a customer, and he ended up buying it for the McDavids last year before the futurity. Okay, they pulled him to the back. He's locked on. He's locked on to whatever it is. It looks like it's this brown-tiered cow that's not wanting to go, and now it's going, and he's fixed to follow it right up there and cut it. Little brown-tiered black cow, good cut. Clint's starting a good run right here. See how his horse is going all the way right and left. Gets a hold of that cow in the middle. Cow waited on him right there a little bit. Clint's mare looks good and on point. He made a dang good cut right there on a good cow. Coming to the back again. Tags down there in the corner, got him on one. Probably another black. Maybe it looks like the black up here on the corner. Same thing, walked way up. He needs that other cow to clear so he can get his, that wasn't Clint's fault. That wasn't nobody's fault. That's just cows. He's clear now. But it's going to take away in the herd work. Another good cow, and Clint's got her nailed down right in the middle of the pen. Same thing as mare's going and stomping straight both sides. Cow's getting tougher. Good job. Good job. Not sure how that, I mean, it looked good from the front, but they may have half a missed him right there. Little half-point miss coming back to the right. Hope not. There's what Clint does. There must not have been a wild cow in here for him to get. Same thing as old mare's just perfect right here. Spreading out right and left. Landing back, pulling back to the middle of that cow. That was an outstanding job from the last whole draw.
And D-Mac, Hail Mary.
Clint Allen, D-Mac, Hail Mary. Going to be, as Corey just said, the last draw in this first set of the 5-6 Open as we await his score. Going to be a 2:17 and a half. We are not done though.
Probably a little half-point miss there on that third one, but look, Clint did great. He's gonna get a good check. His horse looked good, and everybody should be happy.
Hey, I'm not going to ask you now because we're going to take a quick break, and then you and I are going to come back. We're going to do a little recap of this first section, what we saw, what you liked, who's on top, and then we'll preview that second section.
Yes, ma'am. I look forward to it.
We'll be back after this. Well, welcome back. I'm Courtney Dehoff alongside Corey Pounds. We are going to preview the second set of the 5-6 Open here at the 2024 Great American Insurance Group Summer Spectacular. It's going to be great to watch. Corey, you have been in the business a long time. You are a legend, a Hall of Famer. If there are people watching at home who have never seen a cutting before, give me a quick rundown of what we're about to watch.
Well, what the judges want to see, they want to see a horse. The very first box on our judges sheet is herd work, and that means entering the herd quietly separating the cow with little commotion to the ones behind them and even less commotion to the one that they're cutting. And once we get the cow out there, the rider's going to put his hand down, and it's going to be his job to stay between the cow and the herd with a whole bunch of stuff going on. Style of the horse, eye appeal, degree of difficulty. Those are the things that the judges will use to separate the runs, and whoever has the fastest, prettiest, cleanest run at the end of the day is going to be the champ.
Absolutely. And if you're watching, you think, man, this is a fun sport to watch. It's exciting. It's going to get loud. These are going to be great horses. But cutting actually originated right here in Texas on ranches, because this was how you would essentially separate cattle on a ranch if they needed to be doctored, that sort of thing. So this does have a purpose.
If you knew how many times I'd heard those stories, my gosh, you know. But yes, back when the guy that I worked for, my first cutting horse boss, Buster Welch, he said his story was when Texas was a 50 million acre pasture. You know, there wasn't fences. Ever about 3 counties would have a roundup, and you'd throw everybody's cows together, and you'd go in, cut your brand out, and you take them home, and then the next guy do that. That's how cutting originated. And first cutting horse futurity, Sweetwater, Texas, and then we were there, and then we moved to Dallas once, and then we landed here, and it's been beautiful ever since.
Yeah, absolutely. This is hallowed ground here in Will Rogers, and you are about to watch the best 5- and 6-year-old horses in the world. We can safely say that. Let's start with Chasin' You, Cade Shepherd. Man, that's a name we've started to see a lot more of in these open finals.
What is so good about this horse, this is the first crop that Cade trained from the start to he showed him at the futurity. And I'm fortunate enough to get to help him. And I told him when the whistle went off yesterday in the semifinals, that's probably the best I'd ever seen that mare for 3 cows. Just and he knew it. So good for Cade. He's won in this pen before. He's won. The first time he got his professional card, he comes to the Super Stakes and wins the Classic. I mean, he's a winner. So I want him to get showed. I'm going to be sitting in the corner when he shows, and I just want him to go have his run. If he goes and has his run, he's going to win his share.
It's going to be awesome to see. We can't wait. Let's go to the second horse. Hush Money here. We are looking at Wes Gallion.
Yeah, this is a little mare Cullen won the Super Stakes on. Just a hard-knocking, cowy, little gritty mare. And when you throw Wes on there, you know, you could see a big one.
Absolutely. Third horse in the set, Susie Q-ish. Fun to see her here. This is a great mare ridden by Grant Stednica. And man, if you follow NCHA or anything on Instagram, social media, you just keep seeing this mare's name come up.
I'll tell you what, and yesterday in the semifinals, he had a little weird deal happen. And it would have taken a lot of people out. When it happened, he basically a cow just forced him off on the wall, and that's just like, as a professional, you're like, oh my God, did that just happen? But it wasn't Grant's fault. But to his credit, he wheeled around and he trotted in the herd, and by the cutting gods were with him, because a big old fresh red mont jumped out there in front of him for 30-something seconds. He worked it. His mare looked great. And same deal. He got himself into this round, and once you get into this round, Grant's won multiple times in this building. So we just, like I say, I hope he has his run.
He was a 441.5 composite coming in. So like you said, he really went ahead and did the thing.
He put a big number on him in the first go, and like I say, that's a big horse. That horse she's a big horse, and can cover a huge target, and he Grant shows good, and he's going to cut aggressive.
Let's go now to Rosalita, ridden by Clay Johnson.
Yeah, you talk about the family horse, you know. Clay's won open cuttings on her at some other aged events around. His wife, Kelsey, has won multiple aged events on her other places around. Glad to see her here. Good for Clay. He scrapped it out, and family. It's great.
Yeah, it's always fun to see those family-owned and ridden horses.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a great storyline. Let's go now to Adon on horse number 2. He has a horse in that first set. We're going to go to Beautiful Lies. Talk to me about this pair.
Woo, boy, she is a little old bay mare, hottish mare, and she is wild as a deer. And it's all Adon can do to keep her contained, because she is so eat up with a cow. She's a reactive horse, and that can be a good thing, but it can also be a little bit of a trick to get around. And but I've watched her here all week. She's super fast, super talented, super cowy, super athletic. If he can just find something quick enough to keep up with her, he could put a big number on him.
And if anybody can do it, Adon is one of them. Let's go to Nice Work Babe, James Payne riding this horse.
Yeah, dang it, I wanted Kenny. Kenny Platt's got a full sister, and they're both outstanding mares, and Kenny actually bumped himself out. But WR, this cat smart mare that James has had since a 2-year-old. Lots of success. She's a big mare, but quick. And just like I said a while ago, James he's going to show you how trained and how good they are.
Absolutely. Let's go now to Feeling Dangerous. And this is a horse that has brought the house absolutely down. I was here that night. I'm sure you were. This is a former futurity champion. We're going to see Wes Gallion showing the horse, but I mean, what a cool one.
Oh no, just same thing, little hottish. He's a small horse, but he's strong. He's extremely quick. Wes, like I say, he done a marvelous job fitting with the horse, because Lindy trained the horse and did an outstanding job, won the biggest cutting of our sport, and sure won it. Okay, I was a fan of her. I'm a fan of the horse, and for Wes to just get on and not try to transform the horse to him, just get to fit the horse. It was fun to watch. And I'm excited to get to watch him show here tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome one. As we move down, let's go now to Johnny Mitchell, the Australian. And I said I was going to look at you and say, what horse is this?
Glider Checks.
Glider. I was going to do it with an Australian accent, but there you
Glider
go.
Checks.
What do you know about John Mitchell in this mare?
Oh, I tell you what, I love this little red roan mare. John bought her out of the 2-year-old sale over there, and she wasn't an expensive horse. she was just a little middle of the road. But John saw something in that 2-year-old sale. He said, I just saw a real cowy little horse. And I'm going to tell you what, I've seen him mark 25s and 6s on her. She is a complete, eat up with cow. And like I say, if John has his run, he can sure put a big number on him.
Absolutely. And I always like to joke that I always knew John Mitchell was a cowboy, but I actually went to the Australia Futurity earlier this year, and I got on the 17-hour flight in appropriate clothing, sweats, tennis shoes, and I see this cowboy hat coming through the crowd. And he got on a plane and he sat in his starched jeans and his cowboy hat and his belt buckle for 17 hours, went to the show, rode horses, and I looked at him and I said, you're an animal. So it'll be fun to watch him.
If you put this stuff on when you get up in the morning, when you get to where you're going, you're ready to go.
Yeah,
you're always ready.
And you guys are used to it because I don't think you sleep very much. All right, we're moving down. Let's look at the final 2 horses in this set. Tried to tell you, Tag Rice.
Well, Tag just come off of a huge win. Tag has more horse control than any professional in our business, in my opinion. And he can take that total horse control and tie it to a cow as good as anybody. I was so glad to see him win the Breeders' Invitational earlier this year. Tag's program's good. I'm tickled to want to watch him have a run,
Let's go now to the last horse in the set. We've already talked about Cage Shepherd, his son, but Dad might have something to say about this as well, and he is on Kitten.
Well, that right there, I had not seen the draw till we walked up here. When I saw that right there, Austin, he's, as far as watching cows, he's, in my opinion, one of the best. And Billy Wolf's mare, that's a phenomenal athlete. He was second at the Charity to Lindy. You give Austin that, if the cows hold up, that would be my pick.
And there you heard it. And we've seen time and time again in this arena. We saw it at the Futurity last year. It is not over until the last horse and the last man walk into the pen.
Exactly right. And like I say, hopefully the cows hold up and he gets a shot at them. And like I say, I'm excited to watch.
We are excited to watch. Let's get down to it. Here we go with the 5-6 Open second set.
Our time to ride.
Welcome back. I'm Courtney Dehoff, joined alongside now by Monty Bunton. Monty, before this first horse rides in for this second set of the 5-6, what did you like in the first set?
Well, a lot of it. I mean, we're off to a great start. As a fan of this sport and cutting, we got the best horses and the best showmen, and some of them have gone. Lance Cooper, came out second horse out. His run really built, marked 2:23. He's a fierce young competitor, and his dad's been a star in this arena for as long as I've been around. Then Cody Hedlund, one of the stars of the rounds, came along and got real close with a 2:22.5, and it was very close. It was a hard decision for the judges, but we're off to a big start, and I think this cutting's definitely not over until the last buzzer goes off.
Absolutely. Monty, you've been in this position time and time again. If you were down there, what would the strategy be after watching that first set, watching the cows? What's the mindset, do you think?
Well, I think for all these guys, these are the best professionals in our sport, and I think their job is to go down there and execute their process really well and smooth, and if they feel a win coming on, they'll push the envelope a little bit, but I don't think, they're all probably trying to keep winning off their mind until it starts to build, but they all do think they have a chance because these are the best horses and the best showmen in the world, but they're gonna give it start off smooth, and that's what I would be doing.
You talk about the best horses and the best riders in the world. We're going to kick things off with a great team. Cade Shepherd, one of our younger maybe guys coming up, but he comes, as you know, Monty, from a cutting family. This should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the finest young men in our sport and finest young showmen. It just runs in his blood. His grandpa, Sam Shepherd, and his dad, Austin. I mean, winning is in their blood, and he's got that smooth approach and of way of working a cow that his dad and his grandpa had, but I think he's hung on to a little bit of that youth confidence, so he's got a little advantage on some of them.
Chasing You is the mare by Metallic Rebel, the mare out of that Western Bloodstock sale.
Yeah, Chasing You. This mare, her mom hasn't missed very much. Hey You, and that was a really great mare that Cade Smith showed. And he's gonna drive her off way up there and challenge her to, he's gonna expose her, knowing Cade. You can see he's setting this cut up. I mean, our job is to cut smooth and clean without disturbing the other cattle, and that's what he's trying to do here, is to get sorted smooth and effortlessly, and he accomplished that right there. Being first is the most challenging thing, is to decide whether you're going to cut the more challenging cows or the safer, more gentle cows. You want to give yourself a chance to win, but you don't want to take too much risk on a cow that's going to take you out. And he's got a lot of control right here. What we're looking for is the most turns in the center third of the arena once we get our hand down.
Monty, how important is it as we watch, Cade Shepherd ride in, pick this first cow? I sort of noticed this entire cow box lean forward, because this is telling for what we may expect for the rest of this set.
Yeah, all these guys sitting up behind Cade are trying to watch how the cows that go back act, and that was very aggressive on Cade's part right there. He's got this red Bramer trapped up in the middle, and he's hoping he can keep it. I mean, every time that cow turns into him and whoops the other way, if he can get to its head and keep it right there, he's gaining credit and points from the judges every turn. Very good. You see Cade starting to get a little confident right here. He's wanting to keep it as close to the center third as he can. He did a great job on that cow. It started great and panned out just a little bit, but he's doing a fantastic job. He's got 35. I would think he's going to want to get cut with somewhere in the lower 20s, 22 or 3 seconds, just because he's trying to be aggressive. Looks like he's got his mind on one of these gray cows. But knowing this family, if he can't get to the cow he wants, he's going to slow down and cut the cow in the best spot. Looks like he's got this gray dark pole, drove way up there. This cow's going to get a hold pretty strong, looks like. Tough cow, but horse is handling it well. Very good. He did a great job showing his horse right there. I don't know that he cut the cows that he necessarily wanted, but his horse was outstanding, and he cut some pretty good cows and was going to get a huge check.
Saw that mare, the 2023 Super Stakes, the 4-year-old Open. She was in the top 5. At 218, not a bad way to get this thing started.
And I guess that's what I mean right there. He probably knew he wasn't having the winning run, but he definitely kept his run together and got the most kid out of it, and that's what he's supposed to do as a professional.
I think it's worth noting, Monty, I have a special note on Cade Shepherd brought to my attention by the girls in the office. He's rocking a very aerodynamic new haircut.
Yeah, a nice mullet. He's got the best mullet in the sport right now, and I asked him tonight if he won, how many mullets he thought we'd see at the futurity, and I told him I'd likely be one if he got the cut.
I would love to see you, Monty, with the mullet. You're going to have to grow your hair out.
You got to have a different kind of confidence.
Get a wig.
He's killing it. And I know how much his mom and dad must like it. So
I love it. Getting set now for the second horse, Wes Gallion, Hush Money, by Raising the Cash. Going to be a great one. I talked to Wes actually earlier. Wes actually sort of took over this mare at the BI, and he said, I haven't had her long, and he gives a lot of credit to Colin Chartier for training her. We said earlier in the pre-show that he was catch riding, but this mare actually now in Wes's program. But man, he had a lot of good things to say about her, and he's excited.
Yeah, he loves this mare, and I know that this mare changed hands there at the BI, and then Wesley took her to some shows that Colin maybe wasn't going to in the fall and got along really well, so they stuck with the program, and it's been a phenomenal fit. Colin won an event here in this arena on this mare, so we know she can do it. And if there's anybody in the saddle that can help her get it done, it's this man right here. He is a winner. Yeah, pretty hard to explain his style, but he'll find a way to win.
Yeah, he said from what he knows, she's real cowy and can be very creative. Let's see.
Started off with a good cut, and Black Mott's coming to him. Very good. He's got some cows moving around behind him. That's risky. You know, he's hoping these cows will stay calm behind him so his mare can focus. And he's got this cow trapped now. More turns he can make right here in the middle, the better odds he's going to have for that big score. Very good. He's clean quit, and a good cut. He's hoping for, you know, to get up, drove up there just like that again and maybe have a cow snap him around a little bit harder. Look at him. He's going to be pretty aggressive. He's got a minute 20, and he's already coming. He sees something in this slick black cow that he really likes. Very good. He got up there even a little bit farther, and he's hoping this cow will get a hold of him. You know, as a showman, you're really hoping that cow challenges your horse, but still has enough respect for your horse to stay away from it. And that's just what this cow's doing. Oh, he gets a little bit close right there. But you're hoping that cow does turn into you and make an effort to get back to the herd, but have enough respect for that horse that it doesn't run you over. Yeah, that wasn't the cow he was hoping for, but he's still keeping his run together and getting the biggest pieces of the pot as he can get.
This mare, the 2023 4-year-old Open Super Stakes champion as well. What's the mindset here if you're Wes? What are you looking for? What do you need?
Yeah, and that's added pressure, you know, that she's won an event, obviously, naturally. That was one of the most dynamic runs we've seen in here in a while, and so he knows she's capable, and he's done his job here tonight. I mean, she's been excellent. Haven't really cut the cows to have the kind of run he was hoping for, I'm sure, but he's a professional, and he needs to get the most he can get. That's his job, and he's cut. Look at this red ball. He got a hold of him strong. This is what he wanted all 3 times. This is very, very good. But we can't, there's so many variables, we can't control them all, but he controlled the ones he had control of, and got cut clean 3 times, and has obviously prepared his mare very well, and she looks confident and good. So he'll be happy with that.
Next word for you,
yeah, you talk about the variables in the sport of cutting. You know, I come from a rodeo background where there were 1 or 2 or 3 maybe variables. There are so many things that can possibly happen in cutting. I mean, how do you go in time and time again and just sort of tackle that?
Well, when you're like any of the Galleons or the Rices or those guys, I think those guys are executioners. I mean, they ride down there every time to do their job well, and you know, when it's their turn, they win. And I think that they give themselves odds by being confident and going down there and doing their job every time and trying not to focus on that result, but get their job done. And that's just what Wesley did. He didn't have a win. It wasn't his night, but he did his job. And if he keeps doing that, then wins are going to keep coming.
Draw number 13.
Marked him at 216 and a half. We are looking now at Grant Setnica on the great mare they call Susie Hewish.
Yeah, this is a great mare, and I know he's loved her for as long as he's had her. She is wild and edgy. I have a feeling that she's getting pretty close to her time. She's looked outstanding through the rounds. Like, you can see a whole new level of confidence in her eye when she's working a cow. Grant's on his game right now, and he's a fierce competitor, and he's not afraid of anything. He'll cut some riskier cows even though he's early, and I promise you he will drive way up there, which is credit earning. You see he got sorted there with very smooth, relative ease, and didn't disturb any of the other cows, and she's got a lot of expression. This is just what he's wanting to get it started with right here. This white cow has really got a hold of him strong, and he's wanting to keep it right here for as long as he can. Cow takes a hard run at him, but she handles it well. One thing about Grant, just watching him show over the last 10, 15 years, you know, he won't let one little hickey bother him. He'll keep his confidence up, and he will keep riding and showing. And a lot of times he builds it back up more than most would. This is very good. Good, clean quit.
Worth noting, a 441 and a half in that composite coming in. So been good consistently throughout this show. Now he's just trying to finish it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I mean. I've seen her confidence just be so high through this. If he can get the cows cut, she's sure ready. And this is what he's looking for. That first cow was darn good. He needs it to build, though. I mean, you know, as a judge, they're judging him cow by cow. So what happened on the first cow's out of their mind now, and they're paying attention to what's going on here. So he's building it. I mean, this is going very well. That's a lot of turns in the middle of the pen. He drove way up there and cut his cow clean and got his hand down quick. You know, and I'm not judging and I'm not watching from the front, but from here it's going very well. I mean, they've got their job to do, but he's definitely given them an opportunity to mark him high. He's got 28 seconds, and here he comes. That's being aggressive. Puts his hand down really quick. That's a risk, you understand? I mean, he throws his hand down before the other cows are even behind him yet. That's credit earning. He needs this cow to stay right here. This mare is just such a long, greedy, reaching athlete. It's just really impressive to watch her from any angle. That was a good run. I mean, we'll see what the judges say, but I know Grant, and he'll be real happy with his job and his preparation and proud of his mare.
The mare out of that Western Bloodstock sale. So many great horses graduating out of that great program as we await the score for Grant Seneca. How about a 223?
Yeah, very good. Very good. You know, and I understand why they're, like I said, at this highest level, all these showmen are great, and all these horses are great, and you know, the judges have a decision to make, and technically they're probably pretty close to right. It's, you know, some of them have Grant winning, and some of them have Lance winning, and that's, you know, that's how they end up with a tie. So both very arguably great runs, great horses.
Yeah, a pair of 223s unofficially at the top of the 5-6 Open, but it is not over. We have many horses to go. We will be looking for the 14th horse in the 5-6 Open. Rosalita by Metallic Cat, ridden by Clay Johnson.
Clay Johnson. Yeah, this will be a crowd favorite. I can promise you that. He's everybody's friend. And if he's going to lack anything tonight, it's not going to be effort. I promise you that. He will try. And this is a great mare. I believe this is a mare that him and Lloyd have sort of shared through his show career, and if I'm correct on that. And she's been fabulous for everybody that showed her. And I believe his wife's shown her some too, and she's just a great mare, very fast and electric. And Clay shares that talent with her, fast and electric. He's gonna try.
You know, and I think worth reiterating because I think it's special. Breeder, owner, and rider. Man, that makes it even sweeter when you bring one of these wins home.
Well, just with everything that can go wrong, for it to come to this and get to this level on a horse that you've had the whole time is really impressive. Very good first cut. Drove way up to the middle, and we're going to see a lot of those cuts. This is the best in the business. Very good. He's off to a very good start. He needs to stay up against that cow, and he did. Very good. What I mean by that is his mare being intelligent, sort of backing away from that cow in the middle of those turns to give herself an advantage, but you can't do it too much and get too close to that herd. Yeah, very good start. You know, he did get a little close to that herd. I know he wanted to be in a little better control when he quit, but he's still having a clean run.
The reserve champion at the 2022 Summer Spectacular in the 4-year-old non-pro. So a mare that continues to be successful in these big finals.
Yeah, you know, he took a huge risk right there, driving straight up the middle, and you know, it's a hard way to get a cow cut, and if it would have worked, it would have paid off very well. But things just got kind of disconnected. The cow got a long ways away from him, and he got in a bit of a bind. And you know, I know Clay, like I said, he's going to try, and when it works, it pays off. He's got a lot of championships in this building, and that's how he's gotten them, and he's not going to change his game. So I feel for him, but I also understand, and I know he did his job.
That moves down the line. Here it is, going to be draw number 15, Beautiful Lies. And
we'll be looking next for Beautiful Lies, ridden by Adon Banuelos. This will be the 15th horse in the draw. You know, we talk about Adon a lot. I chatted with him on the phone earlier, and he described Beautiful Lies as trying to sit on an 850-pound hummingbird. He started at 900 pounds, and he said, now maybe she weighs 850, but, you know, he said just a tiny little thing, doesn't think about her legs. He said full throttle all the time, which is a challenge sometimes, but really awesome, he said.
That's exactly right. I mean, and it's just like Grant's mare. They're both hottish mares, and that's a trait that you know, a lot of them typically share is they are edgy, you know, and wild in a good way. It makes them attractive, and it makes them impressive, and they're faster than most horses, but it also adds that element of more risk, I mean, of a mistake or something going wrong. This mare right here has been fantastic. I mean, every show I've seen her, she's just got an incredible expression. And, she's the kind of horse that makes people love cutting. I believe that when she gets in the middle of working a cow, she forgets there's a human in the building. It's between her and the cow, and that's all she's got on her mind. And you got Mr. Smooth aboard. I mean, that's probably a good combination for her. He's a very, no wasted motion. Everything tries to do everything with relative ease. He's a smooth rider and a smooth cutter, so he's able to stay out of her way. And he's about as smooth a cat as we have cutting cattle throughout the whole industry.
And Adon Benuelos.
Yeah, Adon, $6.7 million in career earnings, and he's relatively young.
Yeah, no, and I knew him when we were both pretty darn young kids, and he definitely went through the ups and downs just like everybody else. But when he hit that uphill trajectory, he just kept going, and he's got a great relationship with a lot of good clients that keep him mounted really well. And as long as he keeps doing his job, and I'm sure that they're going to keep him mounted, and he's going to be in the way of a lot of us for a long time.
A two-time American Performance Horse champion in Adon.
There he is, just like I said, just as smooth and effortless as you could imagine to get that cow cut. And that's what we're being judged on. We want to be, cut a cow with relative ease, drive way up, and don't disturb the other cattle. And that's just what he did right there. And here this is electric right off the bat, just like we expected. Just fabulous. You see that mare's ears look like antennas moving around. She cares about her job. She does not want to lose a cow. It's got about 1:15. Typically you'll see a lot of these professionals, they're trying to manage their time, but if they're going to have a 3-cow run, they try to get their second cow cut with around that minute on the clock, so they have sufficient time to go get the cow they want for their third cut. And there he is dropping with a minute exactly. That shows you what kind of showman he really is. Very good. This gray cow is just perfect, never leaving the middle of the arena. Mare looks dynamic. You just see the concern on her face. She does not want to misread. Wow, very good. See, he's got 37, so he's got the time to go dig out his, him and his team, Jesse Lennox and Grant Setnica, going to try to find the cow they decided would be the best option for this mare. Looks like it's probably going to be this gray or the black Bramer, one of the two. He needs this black cow to get out of the way. Excellent. This cow looks like it's going to come at him. He needs it to stay right here. Wow. That's what we're looking for in the Will Rogers right there. Right in the middle of the arena, a lot of control and degree of difficulty. Very good. Tip vintage. Adon Benuelos, smooth run on a great horse right there.
My SMF cutting horse here.
The crowd inside Will Rogers certainly liked it. As we await the score for Beautiful Eyes, ridden by Adon Benuelos.
That'll move us down the line here. Going to be draw 16. Nice work, babe. And James Payne.
21.5. Yeah, and he had it going on very strong, and it's just too bad that gray cow, as good as it started, the third cow. And I was wondering that in my mind. It started just excellent, and then it just ran off, and he just lost enough control that the judges had to make up their minds. But still a great run. I know Adon's happy with the job he did, and he's got to be proud of that mare. She just looks outstanding.
As we move down, Monty, as we await this next horse, we're starting to get sort of in the middle of that set, right? This is the second set, the last set in the 5-6. Tell me a little bit about strategy now at this point if you're in the bottom half of this last set of the 5-6.
Yeah, well, and I think as a showman, you can view your draw as an advantage or a disadvantage no matter where you're at. If you're early, you don't know about the cows. If you're late, you only have so many options. So I think all these guys are, I know I know all of them, and they probably are thinking that they're grateful to be in the draw. So I think their game plan really doesn't change. Hammer here, James Payne has the advantage of getting to watch cows come back on cuts and try to study their behavior to make his decision. So I guess you could consider that somewhat of an advantage. This guy right here, though, he is an animal. He's the hardest working guy any of us know. His program has proven time and time again to produce great horses. And he takes great care of them, and they cut for anybody. And when it's his night, usually it's a big run when he wins. He sets out to prove it. I don't think he's trying to create the illusion of anything. He steps right up there, cuts a tough cow, and his horse will run and hold it. This mare right here is one of my favorites.
Yeah, this mare has over 200,000 in lifetime earnings. If that tells us anything about what we're about to watch, and then of course, as you said, James Payne on board.
He's just one of the best, period. And then there's nobody can quite do it the way he does it. And look at this mare get started. And this mare here, I believe she's a full sister to the Mom Smart Babe that Kenny Platt rides. And I know Kenny owned and had this mare as a 2-year-old, sold it to James. And so that mare power and that cross on WR seems to be working. Look at him stay right there. See, that's a huge amount of courage. Very good. That cow turned away, gave him a perfect opportunity to get off, and he chose to stay and try to have a go at first place here.
They were the reserve champion at the 2023 Summer Spectacular in that 4-year-old Open, so we're just seeing the evolution of this mare.
Yeah, I don't think that's not on his mind. You know, that's the one thing about being a cutting horse trainer. No matter what you do, it's never quite good enough. So, you know, if you win one, you want to win the next. If you're second, you want to be first. And I know that he's going to push for it. I mean, he's certainly, and you can see his energy starting to, tempo's coming up. He's pressing. He is pressing. Look at him. You hear the crowd start getting involved. I mean, you don't have to know cutting very well to see how good that is. Wow.
They like it inside.
Typical James Payne.
Will Rogers.
Wow. You gotta think about how strong physically a horse has to be to run that fast and stop that quick and get turned around. And the way that the pedigrees and the way that we're breeding these horses anymore is unbelievable what they're capable of. 10 seconds. He needs this to finish good. Wow. Boy, that mare can really run and stop.
James Payne.
That was impressive. I know he'll be happy with that no matter what. That was excellent.
Nice work, Babe. The mare ridden by James Payne for Kathleen Moore. The crowd liked it. The judges are writing. We will await that score.
You know, and his relationship with Kathleen Moore, I know, has been a great one, and they've had a lot of great horses together. And he really, look at him, 23 and a half.
This
wow.
is a West Gallion. And
that relationship, you know, adds confidence for everybody. And I know Kathleen has a ton of confidence in James, and she allows him to do his job. And when he goes and tells her, hey, I think I got a horse we could really do some special stuff on, she believes him, and that's what makes all this go around. It's pretty awesome to see that work. Good for him.
A great one there with James Payne, but we're not done. We're looking now for a past futurity champion. We're talking about the horse Feeling Dangerous for Misty Greason, West Gallion. You know, I talked to him earlier. He's super excited, said really enjoyed having him, an amazing athlete, very physical and cowy. And he also actually told me, I didn't know this, Monty, he said he was named after Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I didn't know
after
that
a bowl game, I guess they asked Baker how he was feeling. He said, I'm feeling dangerous. So there you have, Feeling Dangerous.
Yeah, that's a cool story. I didn't know that, but this horse has been one of my favorites since I saw it in a pre-work before the futurity when Lindy Thorne had him, and I know that I know Wesley loves him. Yeah, we was just out there in Las Vegas in our part of the world showing, and he just looks amazing every time you see him work or show. He's a very unique little horse, extremely fast, uses his head and neck, you know, to his advantage. And like you said, the horse is a futurity champion, and the rider's a 2-time futurity champion, so there's no lack of ability or experience between this team right here. Very good. This little horse just loves his job. He's like a border collie. I mean, he just gets down on the cow's level and sort of refuses to misread. It's pretty impressive. It's like he's got an extra hinge back there in his hind legs. So that was very good. Great job on Wes's part. That cow died out sooner than he wanted it to. I mean, I can tell that just because I know Wes good enough. He would have liked that cow to keep ripping around for a little longer. But, you know, I mean, you got to manage that risk when you're a showman. And if you stay in there and the cow says it's had enough, then it may have had enough. So he wisely checked off, and he's digging for another one.
Yeah, this little stallion, a special one to the whole family. You know, he said he's like a puppy dog. He said my kids can get on and ride him around, and you know, the whole family has been able to enjoy this one, which makes it special.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I know how much Misty loves this horse, and I don't know who doesn't love this horse, but I have seen his kids ride him. Look at him go. Very good. That's just excellent right there. Oh, Red Baldy took a pretty hard run at him, but the horse handled it well. Yeah, same thing there. I mean, he's having a good run, but that cow started out excellent and then petered out probably before Wes would have liked it to. He's still got 34 seconds. He's trying to manage his risk right now and decide how long he should cut. And a lot of that depends on the cow that he's trying to cut and how much confidence he has in it being good. He's going to get this Red Mont drove up there. Red Mont's got a strong look in his eye. Very good. 8 seconds. He's needing it to stay right here.
No denying a cool horse.
That little horse is incredible. You know, and so is Wesley, and he just did a great job showing his horse. And I don't think he's gonna jump above 23 and a half probably, but I know he's gonna be happy. He's done a good job and showed his horse well, and he's got to be proud of him.
Shepherd, final 3 here to determine our champion.
Going to be a 216 and a half. And Monty, as we await the next horse to ride in, everybody's trying to win, obviously. But let's talk a little bit about the payout. I mean, there is a lot at stake here, clear down through all of these horses.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's hard to do, but the best strategy in a finals is to get the biggest check you can get. Keep your runs together, just like what Wesley just did. We all want that top number, but there's a lot of money down through the middle, too, and you don't want to take so much risk that you wind up in the bottom because there's only going to be one winner tonight, and it's going to be his night, and it's going to be, you know, up to the cutting gods to make that happen. So, you know, these guys all do a great job. It's going to be the horse that cuts the best 3 cows, and in the bottom of their hearts, they all know that, but they're still pushing for it.
Absolutely. Looking for these last 3 horses. This will be the Aussie John Mitchell getting set to go.
Yeah, Johnny, and this is a good little horse. She's a little bitty mare, but she does not know she's little. And she's grown a lot since I'm thinking of the futurity, but I mean, she doesn't know she's little. She will run straight and stop hard, and she's so strong. And Johnny is one intense individual when he's showing. I mean, he'll be as casual as anybody at the ranch working or doing, you know, day-to-day stuff. But when he's down there, I mean, he's got winning on his mind. He tries to control every variable he can and push everything to its limits. And he's been a champion in this arena before, and it wouldn't surprise me if he pulled it off again.
Yeah. John Mitchell, the 2021 Futurity champion. He's also an Australian Futurity champion. I spent some time with him in Australia at their 50th Jubilee Futurity just earlier this year and watched him show there. And I can tell you, John Mitchell is a national treasure in Australia. They love him, and they loved having him back. Let's see what he can do here inside Will Rogers.
What a good cut. See, he dug that cow off the back fence, drove it straight up to the middle, and never disturbed another cow in the herd. That was excellent. This cow's kind of wandering around. I know he's wanting it to get a hold. It needs to come to him. You see how it kind of keeps looping away. Not that that's bad, but it's just not exactly what he wants. He's clean, and he's doing everything perfectly, and his mare looks outstanding, but I know he's wanting the cow to come to his horse and challenge her a little more. So, you know, this is one of those times where he feels like, okay, this might not be my night, so I need to probably have the big, you know, and not to say he can't build it up from here, but his strategy is probably changing to get to the biggest check he can possibly get to.
This mare also out of the Western Bloodstock sale. And they've had a lot of success, you know, the Open 5-6 reserve champion and Ardmore. We've seen this pair, you know, up and down the road. And you guys are going, you know, almost all year long.
Well, yeah, and I know Johnny and Glade, their partnership, they try to get a good horse or two out of that Western Bloodstock sale every year. And, you know, they're pretty hard to get bought out of that sale. I mean, they're all the best horses, and the two-year-olds and yearlings in the world typically go through that sale. But Johnny finds a way to get his hands on some good ones like this every couple of years. He went and cut a pretty risky, kind of a creamy brindle cow here, and it's a lot more. It's coming to him pretty strong. Very good. got 35. I think he's probably going to come on pretty strong knowing him. Try to finish as strong as he can and get the biggest check he can get. It looks like he's kind of wanting that red mott, but the red mott doesn't want to walk out. So he's going to go wisely check off and go to the easiest cow he can get to in a smooth way. Another great cut. Not with as much time as he was hoping, but he did the right thing there. If he'd have tried to force it on the red mott, it might have run him over and taken him out of that premium money.
Well,
it's amazing to sit here and watch them and assess them all like this. And, I mean, everybody's doing a great job. Everybody's getting cut clean, and their horses are all being excellent. It's just kind of all been up to the cows.
Absolutely. John Mitchell putting up a 216 and a half.
Moves down the line, going to be draw 19.
We'll head now to draw 19. Looking for Tag Rice. Tried to Tell Ya by Stevie Ray Vaughn.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite guys in the business right here. He's just a legend. He's the Triple Crown champion. He's won every cutting you could imagine, and seems like it's easier for him than it is everybody else. But him and his brother Scotty, they got their partnership going. They've got a lot of great horses, and it's a pretty impressive operation. They stay pretty focused on a smaller number of horses. They take great care of them. They try to have the best horses they can have, and that's causing them a lot of success here the last few years.
A family affair for sure. You mentioned Scotty Rice. His brother is the owner. Tag riding this horse.
And Tag Rice.
Tag's aggressive. I mean, he can't help but be aggressive. I think even if he tried to back off a little bit, he wouldn't know how. So, he's always going to be trying to cut for first place, but he's going to have the cows that'll allow. This is a very good horse, big, strong, physical animal, and I know Tag's. It's been one of his favorite horses the last few years, no doubt. You see right there, he's showing somebody the cow he's going to come to second. You see him pointing, and he's probably sharing with Taryn or Eddie. This is the cow that I want to come to next. So I mean, there's just a lot that goes on down there between the help and yourself, and trying to make some game time decisions. Especially this late in the herd, you don't have near as many fresh cows to choose from. He cut this strong white cow, and it's coming to him hard right off the bat, but he made a great cut. Excellent. You just see how aggressive he'll ride to that stop, but he has a lot of confidence in this horse's ability to get stopped and turned around, so he'll stick him to the outside, no doubt. Start of a great run.
Yeah, this pair, the Open Derby champs at the Breeders' Invitational, the BI. So they're no strangers to the wins either.
No, there's zero lack of anything it takes to win between this team. Looks like he wants this dirty black cow possibly. And he's wanting it to peel off to the left there so he can get his hand down. And, he let it go wisely, I think. One thing you'll see about Tag is he will put his hand down quick. His horses are ready. They feel what cow he wants. He spends a lot of time on them, and it's almost like his horses can tell what cow he wants to cut before he gets out of the herd. So he's not afraid to throw that hand down quick. I believe this is a rerun cow right here that somebody else has already worked, but he wisely checked off, and it's paying off for him. He's got 20 seconds. He's going to whip around here and get something cut as quick as he can. Yellow cow comes out. You see how he just throws his hand down. I mean, if you've never done this, you don't realize how impressive that really is, because you're opening up the door for a lot of errors. He is finishing strong.
Well, thank you, Tag Rice, and Tried to Tell Ya.
Tag Rice, Tried to Tell Ya, owned by Scotty Rice.
He's always fun to watch.
Second to last horse in that set, a 219 and a half.
Out of our 5-6 Open Finals. It is.
And there was one critical decision made right there, I think, and when he was trying to cut a different cow on his second cut. And that's the kind of game time decisions. You make the wrong one, it costs you a lot of money. And that guy's a veteran and one of my favorites to watch, and he pulled it off. No surprise to me.
Monty, and then there was one, but what a one it is. We're talking Kittenish. Austin Shepard $600,000 in earnings, horse earnings. I mean, you never count them out ever.
Well, like I said earlier, the cutting's never over until the last buzzer goes off, but especially when it's Austin Shepherd on this horse. It would not shock me a bit for him to pull this off. He's got his son Cade down there. You know, they've been watching cows together the whole set since Cade showed. You know they're going to know these very well, and they're going to, you know, make their picks off a very educated, thoughtful process of paying attention to how the cows have acted in. And this mare is incredible. We saw those other Hoddishes, how electric they can be. This mare's got all that and maybe another spring or two in there for athleticism.
She's in the 2023 Horse Hall of Fame, inducted there. They were the 2022 Open Reserve champions at the Futurity, and just, as you said, Monty, always a team to watch.
Yeah, there's not been anybody in this building that's had more great horses than Austin, and I know this is one of his favorites, and that mare's got to feel that confidence as well. Very good. Way up there, just like what we've been seeing. Very good. And he takes an extra jump up there to get it. Trust me, he's going to be trying here. Austin's timing and his field timing is just so unbelievable. It's not really explainable. It's just something he's got, and he's got a way of keeping a cow trapped, and so does this mare. Great start.
Yeah, Austin Shepherd, of course, a little over 10 million in lifetime earnings.
Is that all?
That's all, but I expect the number will go up.
Definitely one of my heroes. He's a great man, a great dad, and you know, he's a good representative to our sport, and he's just an excellent horseman and a great showman. It's the kind of person we want to see doing well, no doubt about that. He needs this cow to get a hold. He just needs a little more degree, and he's getting it, just a little more degree of difficulty than what he had on that first cow. And I know how good, we're sitting behind, but I know how good this mare looks from the front. This has got to look excellent. Look at her go. She's got 48 seconds. Quit. There you go. Very good.
The crowd is an indication of what it might look like from the front, Monty.
Certainly.
They liked it.
I'm glad I'm not judging. Every horse throws down there has looked good, and every showman's shown well, and this is a pretty impressive run. I know that they're sitting on the edge of their seats right now. Very good. Little fat, slick black cow. He needs the cow to come to him. There it is. He's got it. Listen to that crowd. Holy smokes. Very good, Austin. 2 seconds. That was impressive.
Thank you.
Monty, that is what you come to see in an open final, of course. We will await the judges' score, but man, the crowd had fun with that one. And I would assume that Austin Shepherd also had a pretty good time out there.
Yeah, I know he enjoyed that no matter what happens, but you know, and the judges got to go back and make sure everything's official, no matter what this score is going to be.
Of course.
There it is.
Unofficially going to be a 2:24.5 for Austin Shepherd. Of course, as Monty said, the scores are unofficial, but what a great way to end that 5-6-year-old open final, Monty.
Yeah, I mean, that was really impressive to watch. It was fun to do from this vantage point up here behind him. And, you know, that's an impressive set of horses, an impressive set of showmen. But Austin, he put on a clinic right there. How to be smooth when you're late in the herd, no doubt about that.
Yeah, Monty, thanks for hanging out with me. Hey, a big shout out to you, to all of the great trainers that I've had the privilege to work with up here, because I know that this takes away from your job, what you're doing. You're going to head down and we'll see you helping in the 4-year-old open, because we are not done here at the Summer Spectacular. That 4-year-old open is coming up. But Monty, you know, if cutting doesn't work out for you, I think you might have a career in TV.
Well, thank you. It's nice to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Especially when I see that group of showmen and horses. I better have one.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
That was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. I'm Courtney DeHoff alongside Monty Button. Hey, stick with us. We will be back. We are going to preview the first set in the 4-year-old open.
Well, folks, at this time, we would like to send it down to the arena floor with our champion out of the 5-6 Open aboard Kittenish, Austin Shepherd.
Austin, congratulations. Anytime you ride in the pin on that great horse, this entire building leans forward, and you did what you do today. Talk to me about how special this is. You've had so much success, $600,000 in lifetime earnings on this horse, and she just keeps doing it.
Yeah, you know, I was second at the Futurity, I was second at the Super Stakes last year, but I really wanted to win a cutting in here because this is the most special place to show a horse, and so it means a lot to win tonight.
Talk to me a little bit about the mindset coming in. Was there a game plan, or was it just to lay it all out on the line and show off what she can do?
You know, just if the situation presented itself, yes. But, you know, I just wanted to get shown clean, and having a great horse like that, you don't have to take a lot of chances. They kind of do the work for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Austin Shepherd aboard Kittenish, the champion, the Open Classic Challenge. Congratulations.
Thank you.